Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to crochet one of the cutest and most huggable hamburgers you ever did see. This little guy or gal is great as a gift for the hamburger lover in your life, but I think these would sell really well at a market as well. It only takes about an hour to make one, and you can get so creative by doing cute little things with the face, like eyebrows, mustache, little cheeks, or putting a cute bow on their head. You can just really personalize it. You can get the written pattern for this on my blog. It'll be linked below, and you can also purchase a pretty printable PDF from my Etsy shop, which is also linked down below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more of these cute little crochet plushie crochet along videos. And so now let's get started with what we need for this project. So we're going to be using a size 6 chunky yarn in gold for the bun, a dark brown or black for the burger patty, and then for the cheese and lettuce and tomato, you'll need yellow, green, and red. Now, this could be the chenille or velvet yarn. It could just be the blanket yarn. Doesn't matter as long as it's a size 6 chunky. And then you may need like some pink for cheeks or hair bows or whatever you like. And we will also be using a J crochet hook. This is a 6mm, some scissors and stitch markers, little yarn needle, and 10mm safety eyes. Now, you need the needle just for weaving in ends of your yarn and stuff. This is a no-sew project, so yay! All right, so let's move all this stuff aside and get ready to start our cute little hamburger. Oh, you'll also need some stuffing. Sorry about that. You need stuffing to stuff your guy so he's plushy and squishy. Okay, to start out, we're grabbing our hook and our little stitch marker. And we're starting out with the color of the bun. So we're going to make a little slip knot to connect that yarn to our hook, and then chain 2. 1 and 2. And now in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put 7 single crochets. So here's 1 and 2. Here's 3 and 4. Here's 5 single crochets and 6. And here is 7. And now just do a little double count, make sure I got 7. All right, and now if the middle of your circle loosened up a little bit, just give your yarn a little tug. Not too hard because this yarn breaks really easily. Sorry, not really easily, but if you do a magic circle, it will break. So, but you can give it a tug and it should not break. It should be okay. Okay, we're starting round 2, and we are doing 2 single crochets in each single crochet around. So here is my second single crochet in there, and now I'm going to grab my stitch marker and just mark that first stitch because I'm working round and round and I don't want to have to keep counting. There's a 99% chance that I will lose count, so stitch markers are my best friend here. So I've got 2 single crochets in the next one. That's another 2 right here, so this makes 6. We'll do 2 in the next one, so this makes 7 and 8. And then 2 in the next one will make 9 and 10. 2 in this one is 11 and 12. And then last 2 single crochets, we've got 13 and 14, and we're right back to the beginning where our stitch marker was. And now we're ready to start round 3. So first stitch is going right where that stitch marker is. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then I will go back and mark that first stitch once again. And we're just going to repeat that. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we'll do 2 single crochets. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around here until we have 21 single crochets. So right here I'm using, I believe it's the Chenille Slim Home yarn, and this one's beautiful because it's like a velvet yarn, but I don't know if I said in the introduction, in the intro with our materials, you can use a mixture of the velvets, the chenilles, the blanket yarns. I mix them all up because with a project like this, the most important thing is that the colors are right, because if you don't have the right colors, it's not going to look like a burger. So you can mix the different styles of yarn as long as they're all a size 6 chunky. Also, I think the different textures kind of adds to the overall little product. I think it looks cute at the end. Okay, so now we're on round 4. Once again, starting where that stitch marker was, I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next one I'm doing 2 single crochets. And once again, we're going to repeat that around. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the next one, and 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets. So at the end of this round, you should have 28 single crochets. And 2 single crochets in the next one. There we go. 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. Here's a 1 and a 2. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 1 and a 2. And our last couple of crochets here, there's a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 2. Now we're back to the beginning where our stitch marker is, and once again we're going to put our first stitch right there. And this time, this is round 5, we're simply going to single crochet all the way around. So for 28 single crochets, I'm going to mark my first one again. So I've already got 2 there. Here is 3 and 4 and 5. Here's 6 and 7 and 8. Here's 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. Ooh, 12. Here's 13 and 14. Here's 15 and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. And now I'm back to the beginning, and we're going to try to smooth out the circle a little bit so it doesn't abruptly stop. So I'm doing a slip stitch in the very next stitch just to kind of smooth it down, and then we're going to take it one step further, and I'm going to show you guys how to do an invisible slip stitch here. This is a invisible finish that is going to just smooth out the side of our circle and to make it look completely seamless. So go ahead and cut your yarn, and you can grab your yarn needle And you could probably also just use your hook if you like, but I think it's a little easier with a yarn needle. You're going to find the very next stitch and you're going to skip it. And then you're going to go into the stitch right after that. So you're putting your needle under the 2 loops, like the little V that make up the stitch. And you're just going to put your needle right through there and you're going to run your yarn through it. And then you're going to bring your needle and pull it down through the slip stitch that we just made. So we're making a new V that's like it's really a fake stitch, but it connects that slip stitch into the circle completely seamlessly. So we went from single crochet to slip stitch to invisible connection. And now when you look at the edge of our circle, all you see is perfect little V's all around. So it looks absolutely flawless. Now we are going to repeat this so that you have another burger bun, because we need a top and a bottom of our bun. So go ahead and start from the beginning and make one more bun. Now that we've got 2 little burger buns made, well, one bun, I suppose, it's a top and a bottom. We're going to grab our safety eyes. These are 10mm safety eyes. And then we're going to grab whatever you want. I'm doing pink for cheeks and red for a mouth, but if you wanted to do eyebrows or mustache, you might want the dark brown or whatever you want. You can make your little face however you want. But the eyes are going to go between rows or rounds 3 and 4 with about 2 stitches in between. But again, you get to customize yours however you want. So this is just how I do mine. It's between rounds 3 and 4 with about 2 stitches in between. And then I do not lock the eyes down yet until I know that I've got the cheeks and the mouth placement correct, because I just like to make sure that everything's all set before I lock it all in and tie all my knots. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because it takes me a little while to mess around with the face and get it just how I like it. So you play around with yours as well and just get everything just right. And you can see right here, I'm going to get the cheek not in the right place, so I'm going to have to undo it. So that's why I don't lock those eyes in place. But in this case, I'm able to redo the cheek. But anyways, fast forward, boom, everything is in place. Now I flip it over, and this is how I lock the eyes in place. And then I tie all the yarn ends. So now everything is perfect and locked into place. And then once this little face is all finished, we are going to put it aside, because now we're going to start working with the other burger bun. So that is going to be the top, and now I'm going to just grab the bottom because that's where we're going to be starting. So here we've got our burger bun, and we're going to be putting that delicious beef patty on it, or vegan, vegetarian burger alternative, whatever you like. But we're using the dark brown or the black. And in our burger bun, we are finding the back loop only, and we are pulling up a loop of the dark brown. And then we're going to chain 1. And in that same space that we just drew up a loop, we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to be working in the back loops only of, I just grabbed the wrong yarn. Use your working, not the end. In this entire round, we're going to be doing single crochets in the back loop only. So we're putting 1 in the same place that we just joined our yarn. And then in the back loop, we're doing a single crochet all the way around. So we'll have 28 single crochets all around this little bun in this dark brown color to start out our little beef patty. So you guys just crochet all the way around, and then I'll meet you when you get to the other side of our bun. All right, on my last couple of stitches for this round, Here is 27, and this one makes 28. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch of this round to close up our little beef patty. Now in this first stitch, we're going to find the front loop only and do a single crochet in the front loop. We're going to be continuing this all the way around, but before I get too far, I like to find that stitch that I just used the front loop only, and I like to mark the back loop of it, because this is where my first stitch is going to go in the next round, and if I mark it, it just makes it so much easier to find when I get back there. So we're going to continue around in the front loop only, doing single crochets. So leave those back loops unworked, and if you have a stitch marker, go ahead and mark that first back loop, just to help yourself out once you get all the way around. So you guys just continue around in front loops only, single crocheting your little beef patty or imitation beef patty, and I'll see you when we get back to the beginning where that stitch marker is. And I'm almost finished with this round here. Here's 27 and my last single crochet, 28. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of this round to close it up. And now I'm ready to start round 8. This one is going to be worked in the back loops only. And if you've marked that first back loop, that's really good, because for some reason the first one's always tricky for me to find. So you can remove that little stitch marker, and you're going to just put a single crochet in every single back loop around. So I found my back loop and I'm doing my first single crochet. But before I get too far, I'm going to mark that first single crochet once again, just to help myself out. And now continue on in back loops only, putting a single crochet in every single one. So you guys just continue around with your single crochets in the back loops only. This row is going to finish off our beef patty, and then we'll be moving on to our cheese. So I'll see you on the other side of this little beef patty. And after you've done 28 single crochets, go ahead and slip stitch into the very first stitch, the one that we have marked, and then we can remove our stitch marker and cut our yarn and finish off this round by weaving in the ends. Now you can take your yarn needle and weave in your dark brown or black yarn, or you can do what I do, which is I just like to crochet over the end of it with the next round so that I don't have to weave in all my ends. But you can do it either way. If it's easier for you to weave in the ends so that you don't have all these ends sticking out when you're trying to crochet, that's fine too. It is up to you. But now we're moving on to yellow. So grab your yellow yarn so we can make some cheese for this burger. So here is my yellow, and I'm going to find the front loops only of this round that I just did. So grab your little hook and find the front loop. And I know it's so hard to see. Let me see if I can lift this up to you guys so you can see the little V's. You can see the little front and back of a V. We're going into the front loop of it. There we go. And we're just going to draw up a loop of the yellow, and I'm going to go over here next to my end so I can crochet over the end of that yarn from the start. So I'm just going to grab a little yellow and pull it on through. Just draw up a loop of that yellow. So I'm grabbing the tail end of my yellow and the tail end of the dark brown, and I'm going to be crocheting over them. So I just did a chain 1, and now I'm going to single crochet in that very same place, that same front loop where I just drew up my loop. There's one little single crochet, and I'll single crochet in the next 3 so that I have 4 single crochets all together. And here, this one is 3 single crochets, and this one makes 4 single crochets in the front loop only. There we go. And now in the next one, I'm going to do a single crochet and a half double crochet. So here's the single, and here's a half. Now in the next one, I'm going to do a half double crochet, a double crochet, here's the double, and a half double crochet. So that is all in that same stitch. Now in the next one, we're doing a half double crochet and then a single. Now in the next 4, we'll just do 4 single crochets once again. You can see how we kind of got a corner there of our slice of cheese. Very good. So now do your 4 single crochets. Here's a 1. Here's a 2. Here's a 3. And a 4. And now we're going to make another corner. So in this next one, we do single and then a half double crochet. In the next one, half double crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet. It's all in one. And now in the next one, we're going to do a half double crochet and a single crochet in that same stitch. Now we've got another little corner formed. Let's see what it's starting to look like. Nice, very cute. We love it. Okay, we've got a little slice of cheese halfway done. Now we're going to do 4 more single crochets. Here's 1 single crochet. Here's 2 single crochets. There's 3 single crochets and 4 single crochets. Now in the next one, we're doing a single crochet and a half double crochet. Okay, in the next one, we're doing a half double crochet and a double crochet and a half double crochet. There we go. And in the next one, we're doing a half double crochet and a single crochet. Right, another corner made. And now, once again, we'll do 4 single crochets. Here's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Now our last corner, we're going to do single crochet, half double crochet in that next stitch. Now we're going to do half double crochet, double crochet, and a half double crochet all in one stitch. Now half double crochet and a single crochet in that last stitch. And now we can slip stitch to the very beginning of our round, the very first stitch. And now we want to cut our yarn and weave in our ends because our cheese is done. Great job. Now for this round, I really do like to take a little yarn needle and actually weave in the yellow because, let's see, next we're going to be working in back loops only, and I don't want to pull the yellow over there to have to like crochet over it. I'd rather just weave it in because it really stops on this round. So it's up to you though. You can bring it over there and crochet over it if you like to, but I just like to weave it in the end and just trim up the ends of this round so that I'm ready to start on the lettuce next. Woo woo. I am also going to just trim up all of my little ends and everything that I've got going on here because my burger's looking like a mess since I've been crocheting over all my ends. This yarn is so fuzzy too that I swear there's fluff everywhere. I always have to vacuum after I crochet a project with this velvet yarn, but it's totally worth it because look how pretty it is. Okay, so once you're all trimmed up and woven in and finished off for that round, you can flip your burger over because we're going to be finding now the back loops only of round 8. So we worked the cheese in the front loops only, and now we're finding the back loops. And let's see here. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it because I know this yarn is so dark, but you can definitely see it on your burger. It's the loops right next to the cheese. That's where we're working. That is the back loop of round 8. So we're going to grab our green yarn and just pull up a loop of it in any back loop of round 8. And then we're just going to chain 1, and then in that same place where we drew up a loop, we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're just going to do a single crochet in every back loop of this round. So in every single back loop of round 8, we're going to put a single crochet of green. And this starts off our little lettuce row. So just continue around this row, this round, until you have 28 green single crochets. And I'll see you when we get to our very first one. And I'm on my last couple of stitches for this round. Here is number 28, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch of this round. And now this is round 11. Okay, are you ready? So for this round, we're going to work it in the front loops only of the round that we just made. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet in the front loop only of my very next green stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet in the front loop only of the next stitch as well. So I've got 2 single crochets, and I'm going to place my stitch marker in the first one. Now I'm going to chain 2 and then single crochet in the front loop only of the next 2 stitches, 1 and a 2. Now chain 2 and single crochet in the next 2 front loops of my next 2 stitches. And that's all. We're going to repeat that around, and that is going to make us our ruffly little lettuce. So there's my second single crochet. Once again, chain 2 and a single crochet and a single crochet. So just continue that all the way around, and I'll see you once we get to our stitch marker on the other side of this round. So to finish this round, I have 2 more little single crochets, and then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of my round where my stitch marker is. Now you can see our cute little ruffly lettuce. And now I'm going to just cut my yarn and finish this off because we're all finished with green. And actually we are almost completely finished with our burger because the very last round is going to be what connects the bottom, so this whole part that we've just made, to the top of our burger. Yep, the burger bun where our cute little face is. We're going to use the red tomato to connect them. So first I'm just going to weave in this little end though to get rid of it, because this last round that we're going to be doing is all slip stitches, so you can't really crochet over your end if it's only slip stitches. So I'm just taking the time to weave this one in so it's all nice and clean. Of course, you could always wait until the very end to weave in your ends, but I'm just doing it now because why not? All right, now that I've got everything all woven in and trimmed up, I can grab my cute little face because I'm ready to connect it to the rest of my burger with the red yarn. So we're going to be making it look like a tomato, and what we're going to be doing is called a flat slip stitch seam. such a tongue twister to me, but it is a flat slip stitch seam. Okay, I got it. So we're going to be using the back loop of the green, the unused loop, and then we're going to be using the back loop of our bun. So put your hook in that unused loop of green, the back loop, and then into your golden bun back loop, and then you're going to draw up a loop of red through those two loops. Now, we're once again going to stick our hook into the back loop of that green, so through there, and then through the back loop of the gold. Now you're going to yarn over with your red, and now you're going to pull it through all three loops. So here's through one, and through two, and through three. Ugh. So many tongue twisters. Okay, now you can see it makes this perfect little V of red on top that is absolutely beautiful. It's going to feel a little bit weird and awkward at first, but it's going to feel better once you kind of get the flow down. So, but this is the continuation. So you go through the back loop of green, the back loop of the gold, yarn over with your red, and pull 1, 2, 3. Each time you do that, you add a perfect little V. There's back loop of green, back loop of gold, yarn over, 1, 2, and 3. And as I'm doing it, I like to say back loop, and 1, 2, 3. It gets a nice little rhythm down. Back loop, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you're just going to continue that around until you are about 3/4 of the way around your burger, because then we get to stop and stuff him or her with the stuffing. So just continue around, back loop, 1, 2, 3. And I will see you when you're about 3/4 of the way done so we can stuff our burger. All right, I might be a little more than 3/4 of the way around, but it's okay. I've got a big handful of stuffing and another big handful of stuffing, and I'm going to start to stuff my burger. So I always grab a big handful of stuffing, and I think that that is going to be plenty enough to stuff whatever little plushie I'm making. But then it always turns out that actually what I think is enough, I actually need to double that amount. I always end up needing twice as much as what I think I need. So if you grab one great big handful and you think that's enough, go ahead and grab another great big handful, because I don't know, once you get them kind of stuffed, you kind of feel like you just could use a little more in there. So you just grab enough stuffing and just stuff, until he's the squishiness that you really like. And then once you've got your burger stuffed, we can go ahead and put the loop back on our hook, and we're going to continue around with our flat slip stitch seam. I'm going to go back loop. Oh, where's my back loop? There we go. And yarn over, 1, 2, 3. It's going to get a little tiny bit harder as you get close to the end, because you kind of have to hold your yarn up above the stuffing and above all the stuff, the burger and all that. This flat slip stitch seam is usually used to connect granny squares together in a blanket, and that was the first time I learned how to use it, and I just love how it connects two pieces with this beautiful, perfect seam of V's. It just looks so pretty. So I thought it'd be kind of a cute way to connect our burger and make it look like a beautiful tomato. So this is the last one I can get in, and now I'm just going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to cut my yarn, and I'm going to create a perfect, beautiful, invisible join for the end and beginning of my tomato. So it's going to be similar to how we did a little invisible join for our burger bun in the beginning. So I'm going to find the very first V that I did, and I'm going to put my needle through it. So I'm going to go under both loops of that first V, and then I'm going to thread my yarn needle to bring my yarn underneath both of those V's. And then in the last stitch that I did, I'm going to bring my yarn needle down through it. So it's going to create another really beautiful V. So I have a perfect seamless connection. It's just perfect little V's all the way around. And then I'm going to take the end of my yarn and I'm just going to weave it in. So I'm going to go up and down next to the red just to hide that end a couple of times. And then once I get it woven in enough times, I'm just going to cut it. And then that is it. Our cute little burger is finished. But I think I want to add a little bow to this one. I'm going to make her a cute little girl since I gave her cute little pink cheeks. So I'm just going to pop my needle in through the side there and just pull up some pink and just tie it in a cute little bow. These burgers are so adorable because I've made them with like eyebrows and mustaches and all sorts of things. You can really get creative and silly with how you make the face. But what's funny too is that you can also kind of make it match the person that you're making it for. So if the person you're making it for has a beard or a mustache, you can totally add that so the burger kind of looks like them. So, but this one's just going to be a cute little one, probably to sell at the market. So she's adorable. Aww. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video tutorial. Comment down below and tell me how cute your burgers are and how you personalized them. Remember to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more of these cute little plushy videos. They're so fun to make, especially when they're a no-sew and you can make them in under an hour. This is such a cute gift for someone. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.